What up? What up? What up? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Monday, fun day, but it's not a Sunday. Unfortunately, it's not a happy day for everybody. It's not a happy day for our Baltimore Ravens fans. Shout out to Tiff. Hope you're doing okay. We're definitely going to send out some flowers for you. Um, Hello to everybody. Shout out that you're in the basement with Next Up. Okay, this is a quick recap of what happened yesterday. If you weren't, if you were late to the party, basically, in the NFC and NFC Conference Championships were yesterday. We can start with the NFC. Or as a matter of fact, we're going to start with the AFC because the AFC game was first. They actually started at 3 o'clock. AFC Championship, of course, featured the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City Chiefs came out victorious 17-10. Patty Mahomes came out with he went 30 for 39 for 241 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions, and two sacks. For rushing, Isaiah Pacheco, 68 yards, one touchdown. Patty Mahomes also rushed for 15 yards. Receiving, Travis had a monster game. Travis Kelsey had a monster game, 11 receptions, 116 yards, one touchdown. Rashi Rice also had 8 receptions, 46 yards. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had 2 receptions, 38 yards, and a pretty much a catch that I would say that pretty much changed the whole income of the whole outcome of the whole game, basically. Also, in defense, L'Jarius Sneed had one forced fumble, and Deion Bush had one interception. We'll get into that later. But for the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson went 20 for 37, 272 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Unfortunately, uncharacteristically, he got sacked 4 times. Lamar Jackson also rushed for 54 yards. We'll get on more on that later. Gus Edwards had 20 yards. Receiving, Zay Flowers had 5 receptions, 115 yards, one touchdown, and one taunt. That cost him early. Later, we're going to get into that as well. Nelson Aguilar, 1 reception, 39 yards. Justice Hill, 4 receptions, 34 yards. And Odell Beckham Jr. got in the mix with 3 receptions and 22 yards. So, with that, the Lamar Jackson is probably going to me, I think Lamar Jackson is probably going to end up winning the MVP, but unfortunately, he came up short again. Now, a lot of people are looking at this in regards to, is he ever going to get it done? Is he worth the money? And he actually is worth the money. But it seems that from what I saw from the game yesterday, and, shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. They played a heck of a game. But I think what happened was I think they depend more on their running backs more because usually when I was looking out through the season, usually there's a balanced running attack with Baltimore. I mean, usually Lamar Jackson can he can kind of like rest a little bit, and also it's like he wasn't using his running backs. It seemed like he was doing it all himself. He was pretty much putting it all himself. He pretty much like tucked and ran. Didn't look for any type of like play options. There were a couple passes here and there, and good job by Kansas City by only keeping like one breakout play almost like per quarter. There was that one play that Zay Flowers caught, in the end zone, and I thought that was going to be it because they were playing in Baltimore. All the Baltimore Ravens came out from Ray Lewis to who else came out? The NFC Suggs came out. I mean, it was all the Hall of Famers pretty much came out to like support the Ravens, and I heard like it was just like the whole stadium was just juice. Ed Reed was also there as well. The whole stadium was just juiced. It was ready. It was primed to go. Even Ray Allen came out and did his dance. He came out and did his celebration dance. He came out and did that, getting the crowd hype and things of that sort. But Kansas City did a great job coming in there, just shutting it down. They just kept the crowd out the game, coming to the second half. Ooh, excuse me. And also, definitely want to shout out the Jarius Sneed with that one forced fumble in the end zone, which could have pretty much changed the whole outcome of the game. So instead, with his defense, he pretty much changed the outcome of the game as well because he was going to score that touchdown, and then he just pretty much knocked the ball out before he could cross the plane, got the touchback, 20 yards. Kansas City marched down the field, kicked a couple field goals, and they just almost kept it out of reach with just different. They just kept converting like the third and fourth downs. Like if it was fourth and one, they converted. If it's third and five, they converted. And then also, Travis Kelsey got the hard yards out there. 5, 6, maybe 10-yard drops. Just getting that, and then pretty much extending the clock, making Baltimore burn their timeouts, and pretty much quieted the Baltimore faithful. Um, but a lot of people are saying, he shouldn't have. For Lamar Jackson, I think he should have threw the ball more. I mean, I'm no quarterback. Who am I to judge? But from what I've seen, I think he should have used his arm a little bit more. He had the weapons out there. A lot of penalties were being hit too. Baltimore was getting hit with a lot of penalties as well. Taunting, holding, roughing the passer. A couple of those roughing the passer calls are kind of questionable. That's more of like the Tom Brady rule. You can't hurt the golden goose. So, but I mean, like I said, shout out to Kansas City. Shout out to the real Kansas City fans out there, Rashid Wallace, a couple other guys that I know that are like diehard Kansas City Chiefs fans. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens too, to get this far. And even that in itself, I would say like it's been a long time since Baltimore had like home field advantage, like in a conference championship. So I mean, don't hang your heads too low because you guys are going to be back next year. You guys are going to be the team to deal with. Although that the mantra's always going to be in Baltimore, they can't win the big game, but that's how it is sometimes. Plus, besides Kansas City, if you look at it, the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl like for the fourth time in like 5 years. So that's like you know, and out of those times, I believe they won it 3 times. I believe they won it twice or 3 times. So it's like the simple fact is like the Kansas City are like the Buffalo Bills, but they just win. That's all it is. Um, but definitely congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for getting back to the bowl. I mean, it's hard. It's hard enough to get to the bowl for the first time, but to go back there a second, third, fourth time, that's hard enough. And I don't know why people always get on the Buffalo Bills, almost when they're losers and things of that sort. Listen, if you want to stop the Bills from getting to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row, then stop them in the conference championship. Stop them in the first round of the playoffs. So definitely shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. And moving on to the NFC Conference Championship. This one was a game to watch as well. Detroit Lions and San Francisco 49ers locked it up. Detroit Lions came out on top of the first half, but for some reason they only scored 4 points. They only scored 4 points in the second half, and they lost by 3. San Francisco beat them 34-31. Shout out to all the San Francisco Niners fans that I know. Shout out to my man Corey. Shout out to my man Chiz, Charles Fields. Shout out to my man Eric, aka E Franchise. Shout out to him. Diehard 49ers fans from the RIP. Since I met you guys, congratulations. I know you guys are out there dancing in the streets. Don't hurt nobody. So let's go over the stats for the San Fran and the Detroit game. For Detroit, we'll start with Detroit. Jared Goff went 25 for 41, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 2 sacks. Pretty good stats. David Montgomery, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Jameer Gibbs, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Jameson Williams, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. So that right there, 1, 2, 3, that's actually 28 points right there. That's 28 points. I believe that's a 28 points scored in the half to San Francisco's 7. Receiving, Jameson Williams, 2 receptions, 25 yards, 1 touchdown. Sam Laporta, 9 receptions, 97 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 receptions, 87 yards. Amon St. Brown was balling out there. I mean, he was catching all types of crazy passes out there near the sideline. And I really thought, I literally I didn't turn off the television, but, I was actually traveling, so I was actually watching it on my phone. And I was just like, oh, this could be the upset. This could be the upset of the NFC. I mean, Ford Field was packed, with Detroit Lions fans. Shout out to your goat. And I really actually thought that they were going to actually pull this upset off. They go into the half. So I believe it was like 24-7. I believe 24-7 or 27-7. Call in, let me know what the halftime score was, but I know they were down, and I know all they had to do in order to really put this game out of reach is really probably kick a couple field goals. Just keep San Fran off the field. Keep their offense off the field. Get the defense tired. I really thought that it was going to happen, but from listening to the post game comments and interviews with the San Francisco 49ers, there wasn't, usually when you're down like that, usually it's going to be like a profanity laced tirade that's going to go on in the halftime, in the halftime locker room. Say, listen, you got to get this together, blank, 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 a couple other, profanity, choice words that you're going to use to, get your team motivated. But however, it wasn't. Told me it was like, listen, we're going to come out here. Listen, do you want to go home now or you want to go home after the Super Bowl? They said, listen, we want to go home after the Super Bowl. Okay, all right, well, let's go out there, let's make some adjustments, and let's make this happen. And the adjustments they did for the 49ers, Brock Purdy went 20 for 31, 267 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Christian McCaffrey was a horse out there, 90 yards, two touchdowns. Brock Purdy also rushed for 48 yards, and there was a great sequence of him rushing. Like, I don't know what he did, but he must have channeled the ghost of, like, Steve Young out there, out there in Candlestick. Elijah Mitchell, 7 yards, one touchdown. Receiving, Debo Samuel had 8 receptions, 89 yards. Brandon Ayuk also had 3 receptions, 68 yards, and one touchdown. And shout out to Brandon Ayuk for making that pretty much game-saving touchdown catch deflection off the safety or the cornerback's face mask. So that's probably going to live in infamy. So that's probably going to be a trivia question coming up soon. So so get ready because we're going to have some stuff to be given out too. Nice decent in the basement giveaways. Shout out to Next Step and everybody. Shout out to SB. Shout out to the Black Psychologist Podcast while I'm at it. But Detroit, don't hang your heads. Please don't, because Detroit, you did a great job here. You guys were on the rise. I know a lot of people, and the coach was like, what I loved about the coach for Detroit was he was definitely honest with them in the moment. He was like, listen, it's like, we're not going to be on some, we'll be back next year. I love my guys, stuff like that. He didn't go with the cliche responses. He literally went with, listen, it hurts. It hurts. It's raw. I mean, it felt like we got our heart snatched out of our chest. It hurts because we were up there. We saw the light at the end of the tunnel, but nothing came by. But also shout out to the San Francisco 49ers for making those adjustments, because that could have easily went left. They could have easily they went out there and just try all types of like trick plays and everything like that. And hey, I totally understand. Been there, done that. Oh, Daryl says, shout out to Daryl, little bro. The Detroit game coach lost that game, and he said those two field goals were the difference. Coach said they took too many chances in a stupid game with stupid prices. Thank you, Daryl. It was 24-7. Okay, yeah, because I thought it was like 27, but I was thinking like, okay, if Detroit can actually make another touchdown or kick two field goals, if anything. So Daryl says it's his fault. Okay, all right, well. Is shout out to Get Your Bars Up Media. Salute, my brother. Salute. So, question to you, Daryl. Is he coming back next year? Is the coach coming back next year, or is the Detroit organization going to make adjustments? Hit me back. Yeah. So, going off of that, quick recaps. We're definitely going to recap it like during the week. Hopefully, I get a couple quick hitters. Also, I just want to run down the list real fast. Let's see. We did our recap. So, also, the Eagles have new additions to the coaching staff on offense and defense. Let me know how you feel about that. Shout out to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is also moving 19th all time in three-pointers made, and he is actually the 10th player of all time to score 28,000 points. 28,000 points. Look at it. What up, GOAT? Also, too, for all you Brooklyn fans and all you Ben Simmons fans out there, if you're waiting for Ben Simmons to return, don't wait any longer. Ben Simmons is actually going to suit up against the Jazz tonight, I believe. I think it's in Brooklyn. I think it's a home game. But Ben Simmons, he suits up tonight. So for all you Ben Simmons fans out there, and all you fantasy dudes, I believe Ben Simmons is actually on my fantasy squad. So finally, I can actually use him. Um, let's see. Also, if you're not doing anything like around 7 o'clock, 7:30, or something like that, I don't want to talk about yesterday. Well, you know what? You guys did okay though. You guys did. Listen, first half, you guys were the feel good story, man. It was like I was ready to pop in Rudy. You know, pause. Um, but Rudy the movie, you know. But I don't know, I don't know your go. I don't know what song that they were playing on the way out that tunnel after halftime. I don't know if they were playing. I don't know if they were watching like Rocky Four. I don't know if they were watching the Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. But I don't know. Like whatever they came out with extra motivation, and they made that adjustment, and you know, and also it helped them also too that they were playing at home as well. So, but at the end of the day, Jared Goff is definitely going to get a nice, hefty, healthy, money extension this offseason. Whether they won or lost, he was still going to get that extension just by of what he, just guys what he did for the for the season with him. So, all that. Also, I just want to cover a little bit of high school for the guys and girls over the weekend. If you didn't see anything, um, over the weekend on Sunday, Archbishop Wood and Bonner and Prendy actually played. Justin Bethea had 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And Green also had 18 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and Archbishop win over Bonner and Prendy. Newman Goretti and Roman Catholic played also over the weekend. Cottrell had 17 points for Roman Catholic. Also for Roman Catholic, Jackson had 13 points and 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. On Saturday, following up with college basketball in the good old ACC. Shout out to Wooga Poplar over there in Miami. He had 17 points against Pittsburgh in the win. Villanova and Butler locked up in the Big East. Definitely a 2 overtime special, not a classic sports special, but a classic nonetheless. But Butler won by 7, 88-81. Shout out to Eric Dixon out of Abington, 28 points and 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Nebraska and Maryland, shout out to my Terps, go Terps. Dante, shout out to Imhotep. Dante had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, and a steal against Nebraska. Is that the illest team in Nebraska? Shout out to John Mayer Young, too, from Maryland. He also had 12 points and 9 rebounds. Also, Kentucky also locked up against Arkansas to avenge that South Carolina loss. Kentucky's still ranked number 6 in the nation. I think that might go down. It might go down to like number 8, probably by Tuesday. By the time the AP the AP coaches poll and the USA Today poll comes out. Shout out DJ Wagner had 8 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists. LaSalle and George Washington also played. Shout out to Atlantic 10. LaSalle and George Washington played. I didn't have the box score for that, but LaSalle won 80-70. And also UMass. Shout out to UMass and the Atlantic 10. UMass and St. Louis also played. UMass won 84-73. Shout out to Rashul Diggins, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Quick note: UMass is actually balling, by the way. So if you're on the East Coast and you have like the A10 network or anything like that, or you have like CBS Sports Network, definitely give UMass a look, man. They're on the rise, quiet as kept. Definitely look out for Russell Diggins. And also in the Colonial Athletic, shout out to the guys downtown on 33rd and Market. North Carolina A&T played Drexel yesterday I believe that was on Saturday. Justin Moore, more money, more problems, more scoring. Justin Moore had 8 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 1 steal. And to my ladies out here, we can't go here without the ladies. Shout out to all the guys out there who were playing. My ladies, Penn Charter girls actually were playing in the Mecca Showcase tournament over the weekend in NYC. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was in Manhattan or if it was in Brooklyn, but it was definitely the Mecca Showcase tournament. They played against South Shore. Ryan Carter. Listen, for all you people out there, if you haven't seen the Penn Charter girls play, please get a chance to watch them. It's free admission. Get down there, hurry up and watch these girls before it's too late. Before everybody, gets on them. They're definitely jewels and diamonds in the rough. Um, Shout out to Ryan Carter from Penn Charter. Ryan Carter and Kaylin Bethea. Ryan Carter had 33 points, a team and game high, 33 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. Kaylin Bethea had 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. Keep balling. For college over the weekend, for the ladies, Davidson, and you know who Davidson is because Steph Curry played for him. Davidson and St. Joe's actually played over the weekend. And St. Joe's won 68 to 42. Aaliyah Sneed, shout out to Gerald. I know that guy. Shout out to the Sneed family. Aaliyah Sneed had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Bellarmine and Jacksonville down there in the Atlantic Sun tournament. Shout out to Craig and Dede down there, aka Sanaya Garrett and Sanaya Craig. Sanaya Garrett had 7 points, 1 rebound, 2 steals, and Sanaya Craig had 2 points. Crazy monster, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Way to go down there, getting those double digit rebounds. So that's pretty much it. The rundown for the. It's pretty much for the rundown for the high school and college. For the pro, I believe the games that are being played tonight. I know the Cavaliers play the Clippers tonight. Definitely want to get a watch with that. But if you haven't watched the Clippers play, the Clippers are actually playing pretty darn good out there. Listen, I'm going to put this one on myself.
You are now in the mind of K.
And it's rightfully done. It's right. It's rightfully deserved because like the Clippers are actually playing. I believe right now, I think the Clippers are 20. Let's see, since like December, January. I think we're like maybe 26-3 or something like that out of 29 games. I'll take it. So definitely take a look see for that. But yeah, hit me in the comments. Hit me up on YouTube after you see the episode. Hit me up on Facebook. On In the Basement podcast on YouTube is In the Basement podcast. If you want to text, you want to text your comments in. Text us in 302-844-8275. On Instagram, you can hit us up on @in_the.basement BASEMENT_podcast. Definitely get a learn. So, and once again, I'm just signing off real quick. This is just a quick hitter. And I'll be back during the middle of the week to go over some more AFC, NFC, Super Bowl predictions, and everything else any other question that you want to ask. So this is Casey signing off. I want to say shout out to everybody here at Esperanza, and also shout out to Next Step, aka Larry, aka Coach Larry, aka Mr. Scott. Can't wait to have you back on. And I guess I'll see you in the middle of the week. Be good to yourselves.